Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am Jessica, aka Soul Tribe Mama. So welcome to my channel if you're new. I hope that you would hit that subscribe button right now if you love pregnancy, motherhood, postpartum, baby, that whole lifestyle stuff. I've got tons of videos for you here on my channel, plus some day in the life vlogs, all of those fun things, and of course shopping. I mean, come on. We love shopping, especially going into the holiday months, getting to see all the holiday decor, all the cute baby clothes, and of course gifts, gift ideas. Those will definitely be coming. So make sure you stick around, hit that subscribe button. And if you like videos like this one today is a hack video, a tips video, a tricks video. Definitely give this video a big thumbs up. That really helps me out and my channel. So thank you so much to those that do that. Today's video is going to be about breastfeeding. So we're going to talk about breastfeeding hacks, tips, tricks, things that I have learned along the way. Now, I do want to start this video off by saying I am not a lactation consultant. I am not a doctor. I am only going off of the things that I have learned after having 4 babies and breastfeeding all 4 babies. And I breastfed them for a couple months up to now. I'm past a year and still going strong with my 4th and last baby. And of course, the things that I talk about in this video, not every single one is going to be for everybody. There are things that I have tried before that didn't work for me but worked great for my friends, and that is totally okay. And I also want to say, if you end up trying out breastfeeding and it just doesn't work out, please do not beat yourself up for not being able to breastfeed your baby. If your milk supply is just dries up, if you just feel like it's just too much work for you and you end up going to formula, or even if you have to supplement with formula during your breastfeeding or pumping journey, please do not feel like a bad mom. As long as your baby is eating, they're getting poopy and pee diapers, they're gaining weight, you're doing a great job. And if you have to stop breastfeeding, it is okay. I know it can be devastating because if your heart is set on breastfeeding, it's really hard because you just feel overwhelmed, you feel stressed out, you feel like you're not good enough, you're not doing something right, and that's not the case. Sometimes it just doesn't work out, and that's okay. It is okay to be a mom who formula feeds, to be a mom who does both, to be a mom who only pumps exclusively or maybe only breastfeeds exclusively. None of us are better than the other. I mean, come on guys. When your kids are 15 years old, is anybody gonna ask, oh, he's so smart because he only breastfed? No, nobody cares. Once you're past like year 1, nobody cares anymore. So please don't let that be a problem for you, and just know that you're doing your best. We're all doing our best. We're all learning as we go, trying to figure it out as we go, and every baby is different. Let's go ahead and jump right into this hacks, tips, and tricks for breastfeeding video. All right, y'all, so I got my list here because just like my past video, if you didn't know already, this is a series on my channel. So this is video number 2 in the series for mom hacks. The first one was on first-time mom and newborn hacks, tips, and tricks. And this one is on breastfeeding. And just like I said in the last one, there are so many, y'all, that I will probably end up doing like part 2s of all of these videos, because the more I start writing down, the more I'm like, oh wait, this one, oh wait, this one, oh wait, this one. And it can be overwhelming. Okay, we're gonna start with number 1, and that is using a Haakaa. Now, I did not know what this thing was until I had my last baby. I don't even know if they had them out or if they were popular when I had my first 3, but I don't really remember seeing them. Or maybe I saw them around kind of with my 3rd, but I didn't get one. I wish I would have. With my 4th, I had it, and it was a lifesaver. When you breastfeed your baby on one side, the other side is going to start feeling like it's letting down and the milk is going to start coming out. Now, if you have a breast pad in there, that's fine. It's grabbing the milk, it's not going to leak through your shirt. But the problem is that breast milk is gold, okay? It is gold, and you do not want to lose a drop of it. So having the Haakaa and being able to put that on one side as you're feeding baby on the other, that way it collects the milk that is coming out. And y'all, there were times where it actually collected like 2 to 3 ounces. I couldn't believe like how much actually leaked out of one side as I was feeding on the other. Definitely take advantage of using a Haakaa. Now you can Google here on YouTube, you can Google how to use it correctly. I don't have mine sitting in front of me, so I can't really show you, but I do know that whenever you are going to put it on, you're supposed to flip the thing, the flange is what it's called. You flip the flange over and then you stick it on the nipple, and when it flips back, that's what kind of catches your boob and suctions as you go. So the suction obviously is what keeps it secure to your body, but then it's also going to help pull that milk out as well. I definitely recommend one of those, y'all, because I got so much milk with that. I was really able to start a freezer stash just from the milk that I collected from one side in the Haakaa. So I definitely recommend that, especially if you guys want to start a freezer stash. Just to FYI, I have had a lot of people be like, why are we pumping and putting milk in a freezer if we're constantly feeding baby on us? The first reason that I did it is that if there comes that day where I'm out and about and my husband has the baby and I just can't get back in time and they're hungry, or maybe at night times daddy wants to do a feeding, then you already have breast milk in the fridge. You don't have to, you know, pump some out for him to be able to feed baby in the bottle. Another reason is for if you're getting to that time where either you can tell that your breast is going to be drying up or you're just ready to stop breastfeeding, but instead of just cold turkey, just stopping the breast milk altogether, you can actually mix formula bottles with the breast milk that's in your freezer to slowly get baby onto formula. Now, obviously, if your baby's like 2 years old and then they can drink regular milk, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you could still do that. You could put regular milk and some of your breast milk in there and get them used to the taste of regular milk. So kind of the same thing with formula that you could do. That's another reason why I would have it. Number 3 is that breast milk has really, really good benefits, not only for baby to drink, but you can use it to make little popsicles out of it for babies that are teething. You could use it to put on your body when you have rashes, if the baby has a rash, if you have a rash, if you have a scar, even on your stretch marks. Actually, it really helps with stretch marks too. The other thing is there's tons of companies that make really beautiful jewelry out of your breast milk. So if you want a keepsake, now you don't really need a lot. They only need a little bit of your milk, but just in case, if you have one in the freezer, you got one ready to go, a little baggie for them to be able to use that. You can also make ointment out of your breast milk. So there's so many reasons why it's so good to have some kind of stash. And then, like I said, if you're just ready to end your breastfeeding journey, but you have all this milk left in your freezer, then you know your baby's gonna have that breast milk for another month or 2, depending on how much you have left. Of course, another great benefit is that if you overproduce and you just have so much, it's like overflowing, you can actually donate your breast milk to the NICU, to babies that need that milk, to mamas that need that milk. So it's a really, really good thing to do as well. All right, number 2 is going to be a nipple shield. Now this one, I want to, again, caution you, don't just go out and buy a nipple shield, put it on, and just start feeding your baby with a nipple shield. This is something that you would use if you just cannot get the right latch with your baby. If your baby won't open their mouth big enough, you've tried and tried and tried, and the baby's not happy, you're not happy, you just can't get it right. I learned this through the lactation consultant in the hospital that helped me with my first son. He just could not get a good latch. And so they brought out a nipple shield, and you have to make sure it's the right size for your nipple. They come in different sizes, and you can buy them on your own. I think they sell them at Target, in the baby section, at Walmart, all of those different places. Bye Bye Baby. It literally just looks like a little, it almost looks like a nipple that you would find on a bottle. And it's got the part that comes out for the nipple, and then it has like a patch that goes over the areola. And what you would do is you would put it on there and make sure that your nipple is inside of the nipple shield. So once your nipple is in there, it helps so that when baby puts their mouth on there, the nipple shield is gonna be a little bit harder than your nipple would be. And it forces them to open their mouth bigger and able to get the nipple further back in their throat, which is how you get a good latch. If the baby is only holding the nipple in the front, you are gonna be in pain and they are not gonna get enough milk. It's just not gonna work out. You want that nipple to be in the back of their throat, at the top, at the roof of their mouth. So it really does help not only baby open their mouth and help them get a good latch, but it helps you be able to see what you need to do and what the baby should look like on you, so that when you go to take that nipple shield off the next time, you know, maybe a few times feeding with it, and then you take it off and you try it yourself, you kind of know what you're doing. But again, that's one of those that if you're a new mom, I would ask a lactation consultant about it first. Don't just go out and buy one, just so that they can teach you exactly and they can show you how to do it and how to use it. And even if you need it, some people just don't need it. I definitely did with my first, and I did use it with my second for a couple nights, and then I was able to get him on me really well, and then I didn't need it anymore. So, but I do think it's a really good tip to have, because I didn't even know they had those. So, and I know of some friends that were having issues, and I recommended that to them as well, and they didn't even know those existed either. So I figure it's something that I should put in this video just so that you know about it. But always remember, try to talk to a doctor, a lactation consultant, somebody that can help you be hands-on with you and not just, you know, me talking to you through a screen. Okay, number 3 and number 4 is going to be breast massage and heat compress. So when you are getting ready to feed your baby, or even if you're getting ready to pump and you want to make sure that you get the most out of your milk, not only that you're getting the most out of your breast, most milk out of your breast, but also that you're able to get that letdown, because sometimes it can take a while for the letdown to come and then finally let down and let the milk flow. So number 1 is going to be heat compress. You want to be able to have either like a heat pad that you can get it nice and warm and just press it on your boob right here for a little bit, press it underneath, press it on the side, press it on the top. You can either take a hot washcloth, run it under some hot water or some warm water, you know, don't scald yourself or anything, and take that and do the same thing. Once you have baby on you or you have the pump on you, then the breast massage is gonna be very, very good. If you're overproducing or you notice that your milk just comes right out, don't do this because you will make it worse and your baby's gonna be gagging and choking on your milk. That's not good. I did not have that problem, so I can't really speak on that. But I do know that if you do this, it will help the letdown. So if you already have a great letdown, don't do this part. Now the massage part does come in really well for you at the end of feeding when your milk supply seems to be dwindling down, like your baby's pretty much drank it all out or the pump has really gotten everything out. Just to make sure that you've gotten it all out, being able to push, and you always want to go from the top or the bottom, the side, into the nipple. So let's say you do this and you push down. You do the side and you push into the nipple, this side into the nipple, and the same thing underneath, up into the nipple. You can even do both at the same time. And you know, don't hurt yourself, but you want to make sure that you're massaging it. Not only do you have to press, but you could totally do this and kind of move it around. You'll find pockets where it feel kind of hard compared to the rest, and that's usually just a milk duct that still has milk in it, and you just kind of want to massage it, and it helps like break it up so that it can come through and either get to your baby or get out in the pump. And again, this goes back to if you want to make sure that you're producing milk every single time, or maybe you want to produce more milk to be able to save it, you want to make sure that your breasts are completely empty after baby is eaten or after you've pumped, and that's what's going to trigger your body to make more. If you still have milk left in there, then your body next time is not going to make as much milk as it did the time before, because it's going to go, oh, well, there's still milk in there, I don't need to make that much again. I feel like that makes sense, right? Okay, so heat compress and then breast massage. They also do, you can buy little tools that are kind of like vibrating tools that help massage your breast. But if you don't want to go out and buy those, your fingers and your hands work just fine. You can massage your own breast. And this actually also helps with mastitis or clogged ducts as well, either preventing them, or if you do feel like you have one, that would be something that you would need to do, the hot compress and the breast massage. Okay, number 5 is going to be the power pump trick, or whatever you want to call it. I've talked about this in my other breastfeeding video, and really all this is that if you want to increase your milk supply, you need to trick your body into thinking that your baby is cluster feeding or your baby is going through a growth spurt and needs more milk. All it is for a whole hour, you are going to be pumping. And what you're going to do, not for the whole hour, I guess I shouldn't start it that way, but you're going to start with 20 minutes, and if you do pumps at the same time, both sides at the same time, this would really help, you know, cut the time down. You don't want to do one side and then one side and then one side. It takes a lot longer. So if you have 2 breast pumps, you put the breast pumps on for 20 minutes, then you turn them off for 10 minutes. Then you turn them back on for 10 minutes, you turn them off for 10 minutes, and then you turn them back on for 10 minutes, and then you're done. So in total, it will be 60 minutes long that you're doing this. And you can do it any time of the day. So maybe it's right after you fed your baby and you're pretty much drained. That's fine, because all you're doing is you're still just trying to tell your body to make more. You could do it at nighttime if your baby doesn't eat a lot at night, or maybe there's a certain time during the day where your baby kind of sleeps really long, then I would do it at that time. But again, whenever you can find the time, it doesn't really matter, just as long as you know that you can stick to it. So 20 minutes you're pumping, you rest for 10, you pump for 10, you rest for 10, you pump for 10, and then you're done. Now, I would do this once a day, maybe 2 or 3 days in a row, and then I would stop and see if my milk supply kind of kicked up. And then if it didn't, or maybe it did, but it still felt like I needed a little bit more, then I would wait a few days and I would do it again. So it's kind of just up to you and how your body is reacting to it. Some people have to do it quite a bit, and some people only have to do it one time, and the next day their body's like, whew, just flowing that milk out. So it just depends on the person. And then whenever you feel like you have a dip again in your milk supply and it's going down, whether you start a period, because that can cause it. If you start losing weight, your body may tell your body to slow down with the milk supply. You know, if your baby is refusing the boob, whatever it may be, and it dips down, then I would do this power pump, so that way you can try to, like, you know, help it get back up there again. Okay, number 6 is going to be wireless pumps. These things, y'all, are gonna be your best friend. Now, you can get free breast pumps through your insurance. If you have insurance, you should be getting a free breast pump. But majority of the time, it's not gonna be the wireless ones. Now, maybe in a year or so, it may be, because they're not gonna be as brand new, but I still had to pay $400 for mine. Even with my insurance, they only paid like $50. Now, I know different insurances, it depends on what kind of insurance you have, but I do know majority of the time, every single insurance, they have a free pump for you. They're gonna have some type of pump out there that they're gonna say, this literally cost you $0, and I would grab it. If you can get one for $0, even if it's not wireless, even if you have to plug it in, have it. Because I think 2 pumps is always better than 1. Having one at home, and then if you can buy the wireless pumps, or you can even find them on Marketplace, secondhand. Some people have bought these wireless pumps and either it didn't work for them, they didn't like it, or they used them, but they only used them for like a couple months. And, you know, obviously make sure that they're sterile and clean, that they didn't just like pump and then hand it to you. And then once you get it, I would also clean it as well. But if they haven't been used very long, then they're probably fine. And I know I hate saying that, because I feel like somebody always comes to me like, you shouldn't do that. But I'm telling you guys, if you can save money somewhere, save your money. And if you want that thing, and you can find the LV pump or the Willow pumps that you can, they literally look like little boobs, and you stick them in your bra and you press a button. I had the LV pumps and I loved those things, y'all. I put them on every single time I was in the car, so the whole time I'm driving, I could be pumping and nobody would know. I could wear them in the grocery store, at Target, and nobody would know that the whole time I was walking around getting my groceries, I was pumping milk out of my boobs. I'd go get in the car and I'd have my little milk bags, or I'd have an extra bottle that I could pour the milk into, put it in my diaper bag, and head home and be good. Have some milk for baby. Now, obviously, if he was out with me, then I probably didn't need to pump, but I would still use it, so that way, if I was driving, I obviously couldn't breastfeed him while I'm driving. I could pump while I'm driving, and then when I got there, if he got hungry, I could pour that milk in a bottle, or I could even just keep that milk in my diaper bag to save later on in the fridge, and then I could feed him on me while I was strolling around Target or the grocery store, wherever I was. But I definitely recommend wireless pumps that you can just take with you, portable, everywhere you go. They're really great to have. Okay, this next one is kind of like what I was talking about earlier. If you're out and about, make sure that you always have extra milk bags or extra bottles without the nipple part on it. They just have a seal on it or a top on them in your diaper bag, so that if you are out and you end up being able to pump at some point, that you have somewhere to store this milk. Now, you could also bring an ice pack if you know you're going to be out for a really long time. There are some companies that sell like almost like a little lunchbox looking thing with an ice pack in it that you can keep your breast milk in. And I think that's great, especially if you're going to be traveling. But if you're just going to Target, you don't need that. You could just pour it in the bottle, put it in your little insulated bottle carrier in your diaper bag, and then once you get home, put it in the fridge. Always have those on hand. I don't know how many times, y'all, there had been a couple times that I didn't keep them in there. I didn't replenish what I had used from the last time I went out, and then I would be out and I'd be like, oh crap, I have nowhere to put this milk, and I would have to go out and buy more bottles, or I'd buy like a real cheap dollar bottle at Walmart or Target to be able to pour it in if I couldn't find any milk bags anywhere, or at least not the ones that I liked. Always have one on hand, especially in your diaper bag. Keep extra pairs. This next one is for nursing bras. Now, Auden from Target are some of my absolute favorite nursing bras ever. I love them. But if you want to save a little bit of money and you don't really like the way the nursing bra looks, you can always get like a yoga bra, which is kind of like a sports bra, just less compression to them. They're a lot more stretchy. or kind of like a bralette, something real simple. I found some like, you know, a 2 or 3 pack for $20 at Marshall's or TJ Maxx. They're really great. They're very, very comfortable. You can wear them during the night. I would just wear them with a t-shirt over it. And then when you need to feed, all you need to do is just lift up the bottom part on one side. I would definitely buy like the Auden nursing bra because I'm telling y'all, they're so dang comfortable. I love them. And they have a little bit of padding in them that actually doesn't come out. It's already like sewn in there. I would also get some of these like yoga bralettes that are also super comfy and try out and see which one you like. Because I definitely liked the nursing bras in the first like 2 months just because my boobs were like way bigger. They're a little heavier. And then as the months went on, as I was breastfeeding, my boobs don't get as heavy or rock hard. Then I really liked wearing the bralettes and the yoga bras a whole lot better than my nursing bra. So now I've like switched to those. So just figure out which one works for you. But if you want to save some money, you can definitely go that way. Okay, this next one I think is so crucial, especially if you know you're going to be exclusively breastfeeding, or even if you're going to be breastfeeding and pumping, because y'all, this last baby, I got mastitis 2 times or 3 times. I can't even remember anymore. It was so bad and painful, y'all. The worst I've ever seen or heard, or I don't know what I'm saying. I'm sure people have had it worse than me, but it was horrible. I thought I was dying. A friend of mine told me to start taking sunflower lecithin, and I believe that this stuff has helped me not get clogged ducts or mastitis since. I have been taking it every single day, and I think that you should take it right after you have your baby and just have it in your system to help with clogged ducts or mastitis. I don't think it's like a miracle vitamin that's gonna make you never get those, because there's a lot of different reasons why you could get mastitis or clogged ducts, but I do think that it helped a lot for me. Again, let's put a little disclaimer on this as well. Just because I'm telling you this, and if you use it and it doesn't work, don't come at me. Everybody is different, every body is different, and if you're not okay with taking this, obviously ask your OB, is it okay if I take this medication? Ask your lactation consultant, the same thing. But I will say the sunflower lecithin I think is a must have, and it definitely has helped me. If you pump your milk, when you're done with your breast milk and you know you're gonna put it in the freezer to start a freezer stash, the best way to do that is, number one, make sure you put the date. You don't need to put the year, you don't need to put how many ounces are in there. I didn't even put the time that I pumped. The only thing I put was the day and the month. So that way I would know, you know, which one was getting older, whatever. Definitely lay them flat. So if you have a baggie, you're gonna lay it on its side in the freezer. Once it's frozen, then you can lift it back up and kind of stack them together, or maybe you just stack them up like that on their side. But if you do that, you're gonna have way more room to pack more of those bags in there than if you have it sitting up and all of it comes to the bottom and it almost is like a ball. It's gonna be like this thick instead of this thick, if you know what I mean. So that's definitely a great hack to use if you are trying to build up a stash. Okay, so this one is definitely for the breastfeeding mamas, especially in those early months when you are sleep deprived, you cannot remember if baby ate on the right side or the left side last time. Always keep a scrunchie on your wrist. When baby is feeding on the right side, switch it to the left side. When baby gets done and you fall asleep, or you do something and baby starts crying again, you can look down at your wrist and go, oh yeah, I need to feed on my left side now. And then you can put baby on your left side. Once baby is feeding on the left side, you switch it back to the right side. And that way, again, you fall asleep, you go do your thing, baby cries, you come back in to feed them and you're like, oh yep, right side now. Because there were so many times that I thought, I don't need that, I'm gonna remember. That's so dumb. You know how many times I forgot? A million times. Every single time I'd go to feed my baby and I'd be like, shoot, which side did he feed on last? I don't remember. And there were times that I would feed both sides. So then I would feed right and then I would feed left. So then when you start again, it's like, well, do I go left again or right again? Or was it right again or left again? I don't remember. So it is a very good idea because you are not gonna remember anything, especially not that. Okay, the next one is for gassy or fussy babies. If you can tell that your baby is very gassy or spits up a lot after you feed them, or they just feel like they're so uncomfortable, it's probably because of the gas. There's probably some kind of bubbles something going on. And my last 2 babies were definitely like this. And the best thing that worked for me was like almost like halfway through the feeding, or if I could tell that they were gulping a lot, then I would take baby off of me and I would burp him or her until I got a good burp out, and then I would put baby back on me. And I didn't need to do this going into like 6 months old, but in those first like 3 months, sometimes 4 to 5 months along, they really needed it. And had I not done that, they were not happy babies. They were screaming, they were crying, they would spit up what looked like literally everything that they ate. And I was getting so frustrated and so tired of having to deal with this. And once I started doing that, like halfway in between or wherever, and whenever it seemed like they were getting too much milk at one time or maybe too much air in, then I would take them off and I would burp them and get a good burp out. Another little side tip to this, when you're burping your baby, you can definitely put them on your shoulder and burp them. But what's even better is if you just sit them on your leg and they're kind of scrunched over, the minute you kind of hold their arms together like this and lift their body up and kind of lengthen their tummy, you will notice that a burp will come out. And I don't know why, but that just works really good for me. Sometimes I would even lean them forward and then lift them up, their upper body up like that, and straighten out their back, and a burp would come out immediately. So those are 2 different ways that you can try it out, but burping in between one feeding definitely helped my gassy, fussy babies. Okay, the next one is always have a fluid and snack station for you, mama. When you are breastfeeding, you are very hungry. You are very thirsty. I mean, I was gulping down water like there was no tomorrow. I was eating snacks every 5 seconds. You're gonna be so hungry because your body is burning a lot of calories and in turn needs all those calories to produce more milk. So if you're not eating enough and drinking enough, your milk can drop off as well, you know, in between all the times that you have to breastfeed and pump. I know it is a lot. It is definitely gonna be a lot in those first couple months, but if you want to stick to it, I promise you it gets better. You do not have to do this forever. After about 3-4 months, you'll get the gist of it. You don't have to do all these crazy things, but the first like 3-4 months are definitely gonna be hard, but you can do it, mama. I promise you can do it. So help yourself out by having a little station. I had this little 3-tiered rolling cart that I got from Target, and I not only put my like snacks and my water in there, but I also put like postpartum items in there if I needed pads or nipple cream, belly cream, if I needed diapers and wipes for the baby, extra change of clothes, because there was so many, there's 3 shelves on it, so I had plenty of space to put all those extras. But on the very top, I definitely put the things that I needed for me, which includes, you know, like granola bars, bananas, yogurts, crackers, chips, whatever it is that you love to eat, protein bars, lactation drinks, lactation cookies, lactation drops, for herbal drops that you like. I love Milky Mama. They are my absolute favorite. I got their brownies, their cookies, their herbal drops. So if you are trying to help your supply, I definitely recommend Milky Mama. Check them out. I'm not sponsored by them, but I love them. They're an awesome company. I love them. Mama owned and mama run, and she knows all about lactation. That's another thing. I would definitely go follow Milky Mama on Instagram because they are constantly posting some great tips and tricks and hacks on breastfeeding and pumping as well. But I had all that stuff up there. And not only did I have my big old Yeti cup full of ice water with a straw, but then I had extra water bottles, or I had liquid IV that I could add into my water if I wanted to. I had Gatorades, you name it, you gotta have it because you're gonna be hungry. And especially at night, those midnight feedings, you're not gonna be getting up in the middle of the night, going to the fridge, holding your baby while you're feeding them, trying to figure out what you're gonna eat. You need to have it all there so you don't have to move. You don't have to get out of the bed. The next one is going to be try different positions to help you and baby. Some positions are gonna be more comfortable than others, and some positions are actually gonna help your milk flow with baby as well. Okay, I'm gonna talk about a couple of them, but you can Google them when you're in the hospital and you talk to a lactation consultant. They will definitely show you different ways. There's like the football way where you're holding baby the opposite direction. So if I'm feeding on my right side, their head would be here, obviously, and their body would be going under like my armpit instead of across my belly. I usually had baby across my belly. I like that. I just like the way it feels with my arm underneath him. Also, side tip here, always prop the baby up. After a while and baby's still eating, your arm is gonna get tired. Whether you have just a regular pillow from off your bed, lift it underneath your arm and under baby so that you can just prop baby up and you don't have to do all the extra work because you're already doing a lot of work, mama. They also have, you know, breastfeeding pillows and boppies and things that you can use, but I always just used a regular pillow. It just worked best for me. Another thing is, since I co-sleep with my baby, I always like to lay on my side and feed my baby, and it actually helped with the gassiness as well, because when you lay on your side, the milk flow is going to come out a little bit slower than if I were to be like leaning forward on top of my baby and gravity is pushing the milk into their throat, you know, kind of thing. Whereas if we're both laying on our side, baby can kind of regulate how much they're getting at one time. It's really great at night, especially if you co-sleep with your baby, because you just fall asleep together. I know some people are going to be like, that is not okay. But I'm sorry, I co-sleep and I love it and I'm an advocate for it and I think it's amazing. And there's so many benefits to it. So yes, of course, there are cons as well. There are cons for everything, y'all. Everybody do your own research. You don't have to take my advice on everything, obviously, but I do co-sleep with my baby and I love it. And the breastfeeding them at nighttime, or even for nap times, we would lay in the bed together and my arm would be not under, but like around them. And then they would breastfeed on the side. And that one is definitely one of our favorite breastfeeding positions. But you figure it out, try them all out with your baby and figure out which one works best for you. The last one I'm gonna have is trying to get a good latch. Again, this is something that you should ask your lactation consultant, or you should Google some really good videos on how to latch baby's mouth onto your nipple and onto your breast to start breastfeeding. And a good latch is crucial, especially in the very beginning. Now, obviously I'm not gonna like pull my shirt off and show you right here, but there are plenty of videos that show you exactly what it looks like. The one thing I will say is what really did help me is if I actually took my boob and like squished it so that my nipple was protruding out. And then when you pull baby's head up to you, you would kind of rub your nipple up against their upper lip and their nose, and what that does is make them open their mouth really wide to get the nipple in there. And once they open their mouth, you gently put baby's mouth over your nipple. Now the tip of your nipple should be going up here to the top, like the roof of their mouth, not just straight in. And then when they're doing that and their mouth is that wide, your whole areola should be in their mouth. Now, if you have a bigger areola, that's okay, and you're thinking there's no way that this whole thing is gonna fit in my baby's mouth, it's totally fine. If you have most of it in there, then you're doing great. But a lot of the milk ducts that we have are actually in our areola, not just in the nipple. Or I guess I should say like the tip of the nipple. Babies is getting all the milk from the areola and the nipple all at the same time instead of just the tip. And not only that, but it's gonna be more comfortable for you and baby. Baby is gonna be feeding and doing great. If you're not doing that and they're eating off the tip of the nipple and they're not putting their whole mouth over it, for one, you are gonna be in so much pain. It is not gonna feel good. Baby's not gonna be happy. They're gonna be crying because they're not going to be getting good milk. It can cause problems for them as well. And another thing to look out for is once their mouth is on there and they're sucking, they shouldn't be sucking like, it should be sucking from the jaw. So you should be able to see their jaw almost look like they're eating or chomping. That's what the kind of like the cues you should be looking for. But again, please watch. There are tons of great videos here on YouTube from lactation consultants, actual lactation consultants and doctors that can really go into depth on all of those things. Those are the tips that I have learned from my lactation consultants, and they definitely have helped me along the way. And figuring out early on how to get baby to latch well has always made my breastfeeding journeys go longer and smoother that way. That is all that I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that one of these tips, tricks, hacks, whatever it may be, helped you out in any way with your breastfeeding journey or your pumping journey. Let me know down below which one you have used the most or which one you think has been the best for you and your baby. Or maybe if you even have one that I didn't even talk about, let me know, because I'm telling y'all, I'm getting ideas from you guys as well. So give me some of yours down in the comments and I would love to catch up with you as always. Again, y'all, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys on my next one. Bye.